uses emoji.
Hello and welcome to Emoji Wrap, a podcast about all things emoji. I'm your host, Jeremy Burge, and I'm joined today by Gedeon Maheux, co-founder of the Iconfactory and, fair to say, designer as well?
Yeah, that's my job title is basically designer and owner, or designer and principal.
And I've heard you refer to the Iconfactory as sort of like the Emoji Factory recently.
Yeah, it seems like the bulk of our days are drawing emoji these days. So, yeah. But, I mean, I don't mind that. I mean, emojis are just icons. You know, they're just a different form of icons. I wrote a blog post about this. Same with stickers. You know, stickers, emoji, they're all just icons.
My favorite thing, and I don't think it's what everybody else likes about emoji, but my favorite thing is sort of the limited nature in a way that we're redoing the same set and you really get to hone what an emoji set is.
No, I don't think it's limiting. I mean, in a way, it's just again another form of something we've been doing our whole careers, because, you know, the entire time I've been an icon designer for 20 plus years, I can't tell you how many times I've had to draw a globe or an email envelope or, you know, a trash can. I've drawn those things many, many times. And so doing emoji for different companies of the same things is just a variation on that.
And surely there's an element of balancing what the essence of the emoji is and how to convey that, but also make it look interesting and different.
Right, which is one of the reasons why I really enjoyed when we work with Facebook to create the Messenger versions of their emoji, because they had to be different from everything else that already existed.
I love those, by the way. Sorry. The new Messenger emoji, I think they look stunning. And for those who aren't aware, the Iconfactory is the company both behind Twitter's custom emoji set, Twemoji, and the Facebook Messenger set. And they look really different. There is Twemoji that's been out for a few years now, and it looks, I think it's fair to say, like a flat version of Apple's iOS emoji set. And then there's the Messenger emoji, which look sort of hand-drawn. Was that what you were going for there?
They're more illustrative, you know, than many of the other emoji sets that are out there. They use bright colors, but the things that set them apart are their lighting, their angles, you know, their overall graphic treatment. They're very different. They're unique, I would say, from the other emojis that are usually set straight on and more or less flat colors. No shading, that kind of stuff, which is one of the reasons why I love working on Messenger emojis.
Do you ever pay attention to what people say about these things? I see a lot of people that love them, and then some people just rage against anything that's new or different. I've seen a bit of hate for the Messenger ones, maybe because they just came in and snuck in their app overnight.
I did. I do pay attention. I don't like go actively seeking what people are saying about them. But when they did first come out, I did look at a lot of the feedback. And of course, people don't like change. Right. And Messenger already had, you know, a subset of emoji in it that people liked. And once those were taken away from them, they're all like, no, give me back my old emoji, you know. But then there are a whole, I think, vast majority of people who really like them.
You're designing something that's in the keyboard for hundreds of millions of people. It's not just stickers are amazing, but you have to go and seek them out. You have to go and get a sticker pack that you want, whereas emoji is the other way around, that it's there whether you ask for it or not.
Right. And that's another reason why they're pretty cool, because they're so standard.
Something that a lot of people consider is the closest we have to an emoji standard is Apple's iOS emoji images, and they've got an update in iOS 10. What do you think?
Overall, I like them. I mean, I think that they are an improvement on the suite as a whole. I think that they were kind of constrained by the same kind of, they didn't want to like throw the book out and redo them, you know, which is, I don't know, that doesn't seem very Apple-y, because, you know, Apple always have the mindset, like with this headphone jack thing, like if it's better, then we're just going to do it.
Right.
But that doesn't seem to be the case with the emoji. They wanted to iterate them and not, you know, completely toss them out and design them for the small screen. So in that way, it's kind of odd, but I do think that like a lot of the people are more expressive. They're clearer. They're less creepy looking than they used to be.
Yeah, you don't notice until you put them side by side. Some of them, when you put it, the older sort of more iconic, simplified version next to a new one with the humans in particular, you're right, they do look, in retrospect, quite creepy.
Right. And they also make better use of color in that the old ones, like for shading areas and things, they just use shades of black to make volumetric shapes and things like that. And the new ones don't make use of black. They make use of tonal variants of the hues of the color of the thing that they are. Like people's faces have darker yellows instead of blacks, things like that. So they don't have this like pale look about them, which is a big improvement, I think.
It seems like, anecdotally anyway, that maybe the original emoji set at Apple was done in a bit of a rush, split between multiple people and interns. So maybe now is a good time to refresh the whole lot.
I would love to know how long the design team at Apple or whoever did them had to do this.
So last year there was iOS 9.1, which was basically the last major emoji update from Apple. And one of the changes was that all the shadows were removed. Well, most of the shadows. But it's funny, though, because it looks like somebody grabbed an eraser tool. It looks like the original layer.copy in Photoshop has been long gone from a lot of these. Because literally, if you look at some of them, in particular, I can't remember who pointed it out to me, but if you zoom into the pizza emoji, you can still sort of see the edge of the shadow where someone sort of grabbed an eraser tool, but not quite got it all around the pepperoni. So,
oh man. Yeah. So that suggests that they didn't, that they kind of had a limited amount of time to redo them as well, too.
Right. So I sort of thought that, if that was happening a year ago, that potentially what appeared to be just these manual tweaks on the old files, maybe without the layers, that potentially a redesign needed to be in the works at some stage, or they just couldn't be touched.
Yeah, that's possible. You never know. I mean, I don't even know how many people at Apple they have dedicated to work on it. It could be one person, could be two people, or maybe 5. I doubt more than that.
How about for the Iconfactory? If someone comes to you and says they're a Facebook or a Twitter or someone else and they say, we want a full emoji set, what's it going to take? How many people does that take at your end?
If it's a one-off, then it's just one of us, but if it's something like Messenger or Twitter, then we divide it up amongst us, and that's 5 artists. So then even then it becomes, hundreds of emoji per person. But I mean, thank goodness we can do that, because if it was just one or two of us, we'd be drawing emoji forever.
Do you discuss particular characters with each other? Do you kind of get the wine glass come up, or the peanuts, and kind of go, how should we draw the peanuts or the avocado? Should that be whole avocado or half avocado? Do you really, or do you kind of go with your gut?
We do that. I mean, we have the benefit of the 4 of us. There's 4 of us here in Greensboro, and then Dave is in Stockholm. He's the one that's not in the office. So, we'll kind of get together as a group, and Dave over Skype or whatever, and talk about who's doing what, and divide up the tasks. And then if there are outliers or there are icons that we're just not sure about, like how they should be, depicted, we'll get together on Slack and throw ideas out, or throw a sketch across and say, I think it should look like this. Do you guys agree? And then if everyone's in consensus, then we go ahead and draw it. That's generally how it goes, but we also do a lot of referring to Emojipedia about what the other platforms are doing per icon, and should it look like them or not? And also, does the client want it to look like them or not? There are some icons where the client's just like, no, I don't care about what the others have done. I want it to be unique.
Right. Or do we go with what we think is right or what everybody else is doing?
Which brings up like the squirt gun or the gun in general. Should they all be changed to squirt guns? I have a couple clients who have requested squirt guns just so that they have them in case they need them.
I mean, it makes sense that Apple, in a way, I don't know what it is, but effectively they are still the de facto emoji set in people's minds. I don't quite know, maybe because they were first outside of Japan to have a color set, but they do have an undue amount of influence in that other manufacturers may feel the need to, well, if Apple's doing it and if they're not going to change it, then maybe we should move closer to what they're doing, even if we don't copy their designs. I wouldn't be surprised over time if other vendors one by one went, all right, we'll change the gun to a toy gun or a water pistol or something as well, just to not be the one that's incompatible with Apple.
It's really interesting too when you look across. I love the fact that you can quickly look at the entire suites on Emojipedia of all the different platforms and see, how individual things are treated, but then also subsets of things within those emoji suites, and it's very useful for an artist like myself to be able to do that. But it also helps spot the things that are wrong.
It makes you think about it when you see the whole page of everybody's together. It's easier once they're out. Once everybody's got theirs, you can look at a page and you can go, is this one better, worse, the same? You can really compare it. It's just harder maybe with a new set that Twitter has been the first ones to do the professional emojis that came out recently.
Yep, we just finished those for Twitter.
Right, and that's still a draft standard at Unicode. It's male and female versions of professions like teachers and a scientist and an astronaut. And maybe this one, I say it's simpler because they're people doing jobs, but nonetheless, if you're the first set out doing this, then you kind of just... Maybe is it more freeing? You can do whatever you like because you're not trying to weigh up what everybody else is doing. You just want to make it clear.
And I'm really glad that we got them done for Twitter first, and that they're out there.
I wonder whether any of them will change by the time this is out as a final release. It's still a draft at Unicode, but I guess the benefit of being something like Twitter or Facebook is you can update them overnight. You don't have to wait for an iOS release or a major update. So if you wanted to change something tomorrow, maybe not tomorrow, but in a less time, they could be rolled out to every single user if something changed.
Yeah, we were giving some files to Twitter and they were already up. And we're like, whoa, you guys are quick. And I mean, they're just deployed, and it's like, that's awesome.
I quite like looking back a few years when Unicode wasn't listing what they all looked like. Emojipedia didn't exist, or we only had Apple in the first revision. So it's sort of these silos. And if you look back a few years, it's just worlds apart of just designers designing based off a single name and a pretty mediocre reference image from Unicode. So I think it's super amusing looking back at the 2013 sets in Google's Aliens in Android, that what they come up with when you put designers in a room with no references and how divergent they can be.
It's totally like, giving a group of chefs the same ingredients, and saying cook X and then see what they come up with. Because they're all going to be different, somehow, but they all have the same base starting thing. It's fascinating.
But now you can see that, to go back to the gun, it looks like the Apple's making a point with the gun because they know that that's not what everybody else is doing. So it's clear that now if you dramatically diverge from what everybody else is doing, it's clear you think this is better for a reason, as opposed to that's just what we came up with.
Yeah, what's up with the Emoji One gun anyway? I don't get that one.
Yeah, it's pretty full on, isn't it? It's pretty intense.
it's all weird and bent, and I don't get it.
Extreme gun in your face. It's nearly pushing on the glass of your screen, almost like it's just pressed up there.
Yeah, it's so interesting to see artistic choices for things, like that. Fascinating to see how, okay, if I could draw a gun, how would I draw it? How would I draw it versus how would someone else draw it? And just like how that compares to all the others, like why did they do this? Why did they do this? Sometimes it's obvious choice, like, oh, well, obviously they did this because X, Y, and Z. And then other times it's just like baffling.
Right. Samsung are the most baffling ones that I still wonder if they've ever seen anybody else's emoji sets. I've never heard from anyone at Samsung.
Really?
So maybe they know what everybody else's sets look like and they don't care. Or maybe they literally have never seen what anybody else is doing for the past 4 years because they just go wildly on their own tracks sometimes.
Some of their icons are really nice, I mean, I wish I could make like the ultimate emoji set and take my favorites from everyone.
You're right. I love Samsung's animals. They're super cute, and some of them, they're over the top. It's just there's hilarious odd choices like the chocolate chip cookie that is these saltine crackers that or some of the faces as well really don't look anything like what everybody else is interpreting those as.
Fascinating.
Stickers, new in iOS 10. We did a sticker pack. We're using the basic no code thing. We just wanted to try out some of the flag images we've been doing. We did some US state flags. We did some county flags for Liberia because they're terrible. Shout out to the guys at Hello Internet who have brought that to my attention at how bad these Liberian county flags are. And the basic packs we did, we just wanted to try them out. We did it in Apple's no code literal template, whereas you guys have your own sticker packs and they seem to do a bit more. They have sort of cooler backgrounds and they got sort of your logos in them and they look pretty flash. Was this a big moment for you when you saw Apple was releasing this in iOS 10?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we saw that and we're like, hey, we got to do that, And it's basically freeware desktop icons, but on your phone, And we've been doing it for so long, it has a natural extension of everything we've done, and we had to get in on it. We wanted to do it, and, I'm glad we did. And I'm also glad we did them the way we did, to try to set our sticker packs apart from everybody else's, because it's obviously taken off like a shot. And so, if it's easier to see or notice or, find our sticker packs in the store or on the web, then it was all worth it.
Was it a deliberate choice to have such divergent styles in all the packs that they're really, some of them are sort of not quite photorealistic, but heavily shaded, and then you got the pixel ones and the outlined ones?
Yeah.
Was that sort of an idea just to do a bit of everything and to see what people like?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if they all are the same, then that's fine. But we also want to offer a variety of stuff too. We have retro icons at the Iconfactory and modern icons. And, every artist here has their own style that they like to draw in and subject that they like to cover. And, we didn't want to limit anybody. We just said, go crazy, do what you want. We have 4 packs there from people outside the Iconfactory. We have the Chimp Andy from Brian Brasher. We have the Tikis from Vaughn and the Dino icons from his daughter, Savannah Klista. And then we have Andreas Ekberg, who did Big Happy Cloud. And all of them are very wildly different from what we would have done, but they're very cool in their own way anyway, So I'm really proud of that, actually, that you have this wide range of subject and style in the stickers, and some are animated, some are static. So it's very exciting.
People might not realize, but it looks easy, just I put some stickers in a pack and you throw it up. But part of the reason that we did some in the background was to see what went into it, and just it's pretty time consuming stuff. Just one pack doing the screenshots on the iPad and the iPhone, and this is stuff that's not new to you, but you think of stickers being easier in some way than a full app, but a lot of the same overheads and the same time that you need to put into it goes for both, right?
Yep. Screenshots, keywords, descriptions, the whole deal. Updates for when things go wonky in the packs, keeping them fresh. Yeah, it is time consuming. It's a lot of work.
I think you made the right decision. I noticed that your screenshots didn't have conversations, which was the biggest trip up that we made, trying to make a meaningful conversation of how you make this fake conversation look remotely helpful to anybody.
Well, I think that's kind of redundant anyway. Once people use stickers, and they're going to know how they're going to be used. So do you really need to show a screenshot of them in use? Okay, if they're specialized, like our Magic 9 Ball, maybe, because those aren't just standard stickers. There's a random element there. You tap a button and you ask a question, tap a button, and it puts up a random sticker for you. Something like that. Yeah, screenshot. But I think what most people want to see in those screenshots is, what does the stickers look like? And most of the people who put stickers on the App Store only show you a couple stickers from the pack.
Yeah.
And I don't know. This could be a good thing because it gets people to download it and check it out. But then at the same time, they might not be happy with, being sold something that they thought was one thing, but then they get it downloaded and it's completely another.
Yeah, I think you've made the right choice here. Now that they're out on the store, it's hard because developers, they put all this stuff up before the store ever launches. So you're going in blind. You don't know what anyone else is doing, but it's clear to me that now what you want to see is all or most of the set. You don't really care about, here's a demonstration of how stickers work. Right. Once you've used them once.
Right.
So that's real nice. One set that I'm trying out right now is it's a set it got quite popular. It's called Grammar Snob. Have you seen this? It's sort of it's just yes. It seemed to be one of the runaway hits of the store, even though it doesn't do a whole bunch. It really is just some loosely I guess, commonly misspelled words and some scribbles that you can then annoy your friends by correcting their spelling with this red scribble. But
it's clever for sure.
Yeah. So there's inventive stuff like that I think maybe in the next 6 months or a year we're going to see far more, not just plain stickers, but sort of clever reinterpretations of what a sticker could be.
Yeah, there's another one there. Did you see that one where the stickers actually look like the blue speech bubbles in the chat, but they have things in it like "I love you" or "You're the best person in the world" in them?
Oh, I have not.
And you just put it over what the other person says, so they can, if they said something bad about you, you can just replace it with something good about you.
Oh, that's great. I love that. So that's the thing, that's what people don't realize, that you can overlay them, which is what part of the fun is.
Right. But I don't think, that was a proposal for a sticker set. I do not think Apple would actually let that through review, but I could be wrong.
What is this called? What is do you remember the name of the?
I don't remember what it's called. I'll have to go back on my Twitter feed and look through it because I didn't think I favored it. Maybe I did, but I'll have to go look because it was really clever. But I was like, there's no way Apple's going to let that through because it's too confusing. But it's really clever. Yeah, no,
that is funny, and I'll pop that in the show notes. Another one that's quite clever is this one called Emoji Remix. Have you seen this? Where you can build your own emoji from scratch. So you sort of layer different layers. You pick a background like a green face or a yellow face, and then you put the eyes on it and the hair. Sort of Mr. Potato Head style. But yeah, it's quite fun. You can really come up with some pretty creative stickers and then send them off yourself rather than just picking from a list.
That's very cool.
I don't know whether you find this, but when you look through the iMessage apps, you can't really tell what's a sticker and what's an app. So therefore, sometimes some apps that I have, I go, what? I think they're going to have an integration. I look at iMessage and go, oh, that's really great. Like Trello, I use for project management. And you go, oh, cool, there's Trello in iMessage now, but it's just stickers for Trello. But then you go to another app and like iTranslate or something, and that is a full app within that little messaging area down there. So I think there's maybe some work to do just to really separate stickers and everything else. I'm not sure what they should do about that, but yeah, it's a bit confusing as an end user anyway.
Yeah, and I'm really hoping too that Apple improves the UI for how to manipulate stickers within iMessage, because I don't know about you, but I find it really hard to actually peel off a sticker and then put it where I want to in the chat, like size it and rotate it and put it down without screwing it up.
Yeah.
It's really hard for my fingers I can't see what I'm doing because the sticker's underneath my fingers. So if I try to pinch, I can't, and I can't really rotate it correctly. And then the problem is when you let go, it puts it down and you can't edit it.
That's the biggest issue. That's the real issue. I thought I was going crazy, that I thought surely once you drop it in the wrong spot, you can pick it up again and move it. But you can't, I don't think.
No, you can't. And you can't even, it's really hard to even remove it,
I didn't even know you could. Sometimes I've seen there and someone's put a sticker on my message and I'm going, what did that say? And I couldn't even figure out how to get rid of that.
Yeah, you can't remove it. The other person can, I think. But you can't do anything about it once it's down, no.
Early days for that. Ged, we're going to have to wrap it up. Thank you so much for coming on. Your things to plug, do you have a Twitter that people can follow you at, or where to find your sticker packs?
Yeah, of course. I'm on Twitter. I'm just Gedeon, Gedeon, real simple. And you can find all of the Iconfactory sticker packs at iconfactory.com/stickers. And that's all of our stuff.
Great. And as a brief side note, I did see that you were on Cake Wars, a television show in the US.
Yes.
You were a judge, an emoji judge.
Oh my God, that was so much fun. Yeah, that was a dream come true. I love that.
I've not come across, I don't think this show airs in the UK, but I did watch the episode. It appears to be a show where people bake cakes and they get judged on them. And this episode was about making emoji related cakes. Was that?
Yes, that's
sort of
correct.
the premise?
Yeah, that's all what it was about. Yeah, they do different themes on different episodes, and the one that they invited me to judge was all about emoji, which was hilariously awesome, and I had so much fun, and I got so sick of cake. It wasn't even funny, but it was all worth it. So
I bet I'm going to chuck that in the show notes as well, because I thought that was hilarious and great. It was good fun.
Cool.
Thank you for joining me. Anyone else, you can follow the show on Twitter at Emoji Wrap. You can follow me at Jeremy Burge. Thanks to Jonathan Mann for the theme music and Joshua Jones for the artwork. And I will speak to you next time. Thank you, Gab.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
That was really great.